Some of the photos we cover in this video are so incredible that you will have to see them for yourself to decide. From the Loch Ness Monster to the Temples of Edfu, these photos scared the entire world. Here is a list of 10 things that scientists can't explain. Number 1. The mysterious sphere of Betz. On March 27, 1974, the Best family saw a small fire in a bush near their home on Jacksonville's Fort George Island. His eldest son, Terry, discovered something that would change the family's life forever: a strange metallic sphere the size of a bowling ball. As a medical student, Terry took it home as a souvenir because of its unusual appearance. The family didn't think much of it until Terry started playing the guitar near her. That's when something strange happened. The ball began to hum and soon after showed other strange characteristics, such as rolling on its own, changing direction and stopping abruptly. Sometimes the sphere vibrates and emits a high-pitched sound that causes dogs to bark and people to cover their ears. This ball, which goes by names such as Best Sphere, Mysterious Sphere, or Fantastic Ball, began to gain popularity. The host of a local paranormal radio show validated the Best family's claims that the sphere moved and behaved strangely. He believed that this sphere was of extraterrestrial origin and that it must have been designed by an unknown civilization for an unknown purpose. Number 2. Disappearance of Flight MH370. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was an international passenger flight that disappeared from radar on March 8, 2014. It was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, China, and no one really knows what happened to it. Only the radar images that show the plane's course offer clues about what could have happened at the time. The disappearance of Flight 370 was the deadliest incident involving a Boeing 777 and, sadly, everyone on board is presumed dead. No one knows the official causes of the plane crash, but one possible explanation is that high-altitude decompression caused instrument failure. The flight crew last contacted air traffic control about 38 minutes after takeoff, as the plane was flying over the South China Sea. A secondary surveillance radar saw the plane disappear from the screen a few minutes later, and the reason for the disappearance has never been conclusively determined. The Malaysian military was able to track the plane for an additional hour after it disappeared from airport radars, but saw the plane deviate from its course toward the northwest to the island of Penang. The search for the missing plane became one of the most expensive in aviation history and remains extremely puzzling today. Number 3. Machu Picchu. Many travel enthusiasts have been encouraged to follow the Inca Trail thanks to photos like these, which have inspired other incredible and amazing reactions. Nestled in the heart of the idyllic Andes Mountains in South America, Machu Picchu is the most spectacular Inca site and the subject of numerous archaeological debates. It is even more fascinating for historians and adventurers because it is not documented in the ancient chronicles of the Spanish conquistadors, although many other Inca sites are mentioned. It is never Machu Picchu. Even stranger is the mystery of the hidden town that some call the mythical cousin of Machu Picchu, located in Paititi, Peru. Some have mentioned the hidden Paititi with names such as the Lost City of Gold, El Dorado, or even a hidden secret capital of the Inca Empire. Additionally, there are rumors that it could have been a hidden secret capital of the Inca Empire with an intriguing and mysterious history. On the other hand, some curious minds have considered the possibility that Machu Picchu, in addition to being an important archaeological site, points to the vestiges of alien civilizations that could have inhabited the Earth in the past, which adds an element of intrigue and speculation to its history. Wouldn't you like to have the opportunity to explore the majestic high-altitude mountains of Peru with their enigmatic hidden cities and discover more about the exciting history behind them? Number 4. The Dendera bulb. Speaking of Egypt, photographs of this strange object caused panic in the scientific world, and they have been struggling to discover the truth ever since. The photos were taken at the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, and the markings on the tomb wall are called reliefs. Some earlier theories suggested that these reliefs represented ancient Egyptian technology. This was based on comparisons with similar devices such as lamps or tubes. However, recent research has challenged this interpretation and proposed new hypotheses about the meaning of these reliefs. For example, some studies suggest that they could be symbolic representations of abstract concepts or coded messages. These new theories have generated debate in Egyptology and have opened new doors for the investigation of the true function of these reliefs. This led to expanding the theory that the characters in the depictions could hold lighting devices, such as lamps or light bulbs. That's why the image in this photo is called the Dendera light bulb. Fringe theorists used this light bulb-shaped image to explain that the ancient Egyptians could have been the first to discover electricity, which would have been useful to illuminate these dark tombs. However, no light bulbs or signs of electrical work have been found in Egyptian tombs. Do you think it is possible that light was invented in ancient times? Number 5. Incident at Dyatlov Pass. The incident at the Dyatlov Pass is one of the most mysterious events in modern history. In 1959, 9 experienced Russian tourists died under extremely mysterious circumstances in the Ural Mountains. Adding to the mystery are photographs found in the cameras of members of the expedition. One of them shows a blurry figure in the forest line, often called the Yeti photo. Another haunting shot taken on the last night of the expedition captures a mysterious light or orb against the dark sky. While the incident itself remains largely unexplained, the disturbing photos give it vivid intensity, giving rise to theories about secret military experiments, attacks by indigenous people, or supernatural entities. Number 6. Fairy circles. On the arid plains of the Namib Desert in Namibia, scientists and tourists marvel at an unusual natural phenomenon known as fairy circles. They consist of round patches of barren land surrounded by low grass, forming a honeycomb pattern when viewed from above. The diameter of these circles varies from a few meters to several tens of meters, and they are found in vast areas of Namibia. Local myths attribute these circles to divine intervention or the footsteps of supernatural beings, but scientific versions explain their appearance with various causes, from termites and plant competition to gas leaks and even radioactivity. Despite all these theories, the definitive reason for its appearance remains unknown. The magical circles of Namibia continue to provoke scientific debate and public curiosity, illustrating the enchanting mysteries that nature often hides from prying eyes. Number 7. Dirigible. In 1911, a photograph was taken that would later spark a multitude of debates and speculation. He captured a massive airship apparently hovering over the city of Huntington, West Virginia. What is really puzzling, however, is that the construction of the airship appears quite advanced for its time, and its existence is not confirmed by any documents other than this photograph. The airship in the image has a streamlined shape, multiple propellers, and appears to be able to carry a significant number of passengers, which differs greatly from the primitive airships and low-capacity balloons widely used in the early 20th century. Furthermore, it predates the creation of the first Zeppelin-type airship in the U.S. by several years. There are numerous theories that try to explain this image. Some believe it to be a high-tech invention by an unknown and talented inventor who was clearly ahead of his time. Others suggest it's a hoax or an early Photoshop setup. However, no signs of forgery have been found in the photograph, and the identity of the photographer and his motives remain unknown. Despite all the speculation, the 1911 airship photograph remains a historic find that defies simple explanation. It stands as a tantalizing clue to a mystery yet to be solved and a fascinating excursion into the history of aviation development. Number 8. The Loch Ness Monster. This spooky photo of the famous Loch Monster in Scotland has fueled a mystery that has been puzzling people for almost 1,000 years. Over the years, there have been over 1,000 encounters with Nessie, and they are recorded in an official record of sightings. The first report dates back to the year 565 AD, when a lily saint was said to have saved a man from the attack of a river monster. Rumors intensified in the 1930s when a reference to a Loch Ness Monster appeared in the Inverness Courier. A man swore he saw a 25-foot-long, limbless creature cross the road in front of him and his wife. Although many monster sightings were debunked as imaginary tales, the legend still persists. Since then, stories of the monster have grown and developed, including fantastical images that look like Harry Potter-inspired beasts or fairy tale dragons. Recently, researcher Neil Gemmell used the monster's story as a lure for his research project. He announced that a gigantic aquatic creature could be responsible for these speculations. Some experts believe it is a giant eel, others think it is an unknown species. Although there are sightings and testimonies, there is no conclusive evidence to confirm the existence of this supposed river monster. Uncertainty and mystery continue to fuel the debate over its existence. Number 9. Drop discs. Beneath the Bayan Karola Mountains, which run through China and Tibet, lies a labyrinth of caves that are mysteriously interconnected. Its origin is unknown, and scientists are not sure if it is an artificial or natural formation. Researchers have found inside these caves the buried bodies of some of the most unusual human-like species ever found. These caves were accidentally discovered by a team of archaeologists in 1938. Initially, they thought they had found ape remains. However, it is well known that apes do not bury their dead. So which creature did those strange skeletons belong to? Comparisons have shown that they were neither human nor animal, at least not fully human. The skeleton had small limbs and very thin legs, but compared to their short, weak frames, these creatures had very large heads. A Chinese archaeologist and his team were inspecting the skeletons when they found something even stranger, a circular disc half buried in the cave floor. The disc was made of stone, but it had a hole in the center. On the disc there were inscriptions and a spiral groove around it with 2 rings. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that these inscriptions appeared to be some type of hieroglyphics. However, this unusual language is not recognized by anyone, and not even ancient writing experts have been able to translate it. Another intriguing discovery are the carvings on the walls depicting the sun, moon, and stars linked together by small dotted lines. This discovery raises a question: are these creatures trying to communicate with us? It took 20 years for someone to translate the inscriptions on this album. The doctor announced that he had deciphered these signs as a story, but what he discovered was so shocking that the authorities refused to allow him to share his discovery with the world. More than 700 of these discs have been recovered, according to the doctor. According to him, they tell the story of a space probe that arrived on Earth from another planet and crashed in this region. Supposedly, the ship's inhabitants came from an advanced civilization with peaceful intentions. However, their more hostile neighbors made coexistence difficult and they had to flee to other worlds. The doctor's translation was hidden so that the citizens of Earth would not know that life forms exist in some parts of the universe that we have not yet explored. Number 10. Stonehenge. A Neolithic monument in the United Kingdom has intrigued over the centuries. Imagine huge stones standing 4 meters high, weighing a staggering 25 tons each, forming a great circle on Salisbury Plain. Inside, a smaller ring embraces 2 vertical stones joined by a horizontal lintel. Stonehenge also has an amazing astronomical alignment with the sunrise during the summer solstice. Its origin and construction, with primitive technology, remain mysteries. The stones are believed to have been placed at the site around 2400 BC to 2200 BC, but how they were transported and lifted remains enigmatic. Stonehenge was probably used as a burial site from 3000 BC, although its exact purpose remains unresolved. Despite all the scientific advances of recent decades, researchers around the world continue to face insoluble enigmas. In this video we present 10 mysterious objects that have kept scientists busy until today and have created numerous legends. Do you like mysterious things and incredible discoveries? So, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's start. Number 1. The mysterious rock sculptures of the App Store. At the age of 30, he suffered a serious stroke that left him deaf and dumb and paralyzed in half of his body. To recover from this severe blow, he retired to the cliffs of Rosenberg to lead a hermit's life. Ignoring the physical limitations caused by the stroke, he began carving hundreds of fascinating and grotesque faces and figures in the rock starting in 1870. To create them, approximately 300 rock sculptures, the artist was inspired by various legends and myths of local pirates and fishermen. The scenes mainly represent the life of the Ruthenna family, a fishing family who lived between the 15th and 18th centuries. In particular, a high number of sculptures and their great attention to detail continue to occupy researchers to this day. The still unresolved question is how Epifano, with his physical limitations, was able to carry out such heavy work for decades. Number 2. Cambayano, a town ahead of its time. Without a doubt, Chavín de Huántar is one of the most famous attractions in Peru. This ancient site, located 20 kilometers south of Cajamarca, was built between 1500 and 1000 BC, according to historians. The secret star of the site is an aqueduct that impressively illustrates that the site was built by a people far ahead of their time. In comparison, the first Roman aqueducts did not see the light of day until 312 BC. In Chavín, the path from the aqueduct was equipped with steps carved in stone. Also innovative is the ancient site, which includes extensive canals that were used to transport water from the plateaus to the valleys below, a vital technology for survival, especially in times of water scarcity. Siumbamayo was surrounded by enormous stone pillars that have been shaped by wind and rain over the centuries. Number 3. The Underground Church of Saint John. Our next exciting story takes us to France, more specifically to the idyllic town of Autun. Here is the monolithic underground stone-carved Church of St. John, which delights historians and tourists. According to what scholars have discovered, the church was originally designed to house valuable religious objects that were kept in a reliquary and protected from thieves. In the following centuries, the Saint John Church was also used as a cemetery. Some historical sources suggest that the workers who carved the church directly into the limestone rock were inspired by the returning crusaders who brought back stories of underground temples and treasure chambers. Although the baptismal font in the center of the church was probably designed between the 4th and 9th centuries, it is possible that the church did not receive its final form until the 12th century. Number 4. The Maiden's Tower in Azerbaijan. The people of the Middle Ages had built exciting structures in the capital Baku. The so-called Maiden's Tower is located in the old town of the metropolis, dates back to the 12th century and, together with the 15th century palace, the Maiden's Tower forms a complex of historical monuments that was included in the list of historical monuments of UNESCO World Heritage in 2001. Inside the tower, there is, among other things, a museum that tells the exciting history of the Azeri capital, Baku. The Maiden Tower is one of the most characteristic national buildings of Azerbaijan and is surrounded by a multitude of legends and myths deeply rooted in the country's history. Based on these legends, the Azeri artist created a Baku Maiden's Tower ballet in 1940, which has remained popular in the modern era and is one of Azerbaijan's best-known cultural exports. Number 5. Yanshan Mountain, a quarry full of secrets. When it comes to cultural and historical places, ancient China cannot be missing from this video. At the back of Yang Mountain, 20 kilometers east of Nanjing, lies the legendary Yang Quarry. Its origin dates back to the ruler Shang, who founded the Ming dynasty in 1368 and proclaimed Nanjing as the capital of his empire. In the decades that followed, the Yang Quarry became the empire's main source of income and provided the material for gigantic construction projects that changed the face of Nanjing forever. In particular, the gigantic mausoleum commissioned in 1405 and never completed continues to fascinate Chinese researchers to this day. However, the quarry is also surrounded by dark legends. For example, locals say to this day that workers who did not produce the daily quota of gravel of at least 33 shin were executed on the spot, a myth that led to a nearby village being named too, which means tumulus. Number 6. The historic ruins of Pumapungo, Bolivia. She is also known for her exciting stories. Near Tiwanaku in the west of the country, for example, is Pumapungo, a man-made T-shaped platform mound that historians say was built around 536 AD. According to Inca beliefs, Tiwanaku is a mystical place where the modern world is said to have originated. For this reason, Bolivian researchers are meticulously studying the ruins of Pumapungo. But Pumapungo also plays an important role in popular belief. Here stands out a wall of 6 mysterious monoliths whose origin and purpose are still unclear. And then there are the mysterious stone blocks that were cut into the rock in an H shape and that, according to popular belief, are related to the Inca gods. Is there any truth to these stories? Who knows? Number 7. Tiwanaku, the Gate of the Sun. Let's stay a while in Bolivia and travel near the famous Titicaca River. Here an ancient settlement of about 4 square kilometers was discovered that, according to historians, reached its maximum splendor around the year 800 AD, between 10,000 and 20,000 inhabitants. Numerous objects of historical relevance were discovered, such as monumental structures, decorated ceramics, and megalithic blocks. While the objects were quickly assigned to a people who lived more than 1,200 years ago, the monolith called Puerta del Sol continues to cause speculation to this day. What it is in detail would probably remain unexplained forever, since historians, despite all the research, have not discovered any concrete clues about the meaning and purpose of the monolith. In Bolivian popular belief, the Puerta del Sol is considered a mystical place that connects the world of humans with that of the gods. Number 8. The Tomb of Absalom, an ancient monument from the 1st century. It is one of the oldest surviving monuments. It is the Tomb of Absalom, located in the Kidron Valley, near Jerusalem, and dates back to the 1st century. Over the centuries, the tomb has received different names, such as Tomb of Hezekiah, Tower of Jehoshaphat, or House of Pharaoh. According to researchers, the tomb belongs to a noble Jewish family from the time of the 2 temples, whose name has not been determined. The mystical monument includes an underground tomb carved into the rock that can be accessed by stairs. According to legends, the tomb was used to express rejection of Absalom's disobedience. According to Jewish history, Absalom rebelled against his father's rule and was killed in an uprising. However, these accounts are not historically verified. Number 9. The Lycurgus Vase. Stunning art from ancient Rome. The ancient Romans are credited with several achievements and inventions with which the vast empire advanced civilization. But the Romans also had a predilection for art in their private lives, which is especially evident in the Lycurgus vase. This is a drinking vessel made of dichroic glass. Depending on which side the light hits through the glass walls of the glass, it shines in a different color. If illuminated from the front, it glows red. If, on the other hand, the light hits from behind, it lights up green. Scientists discovered that this effect is achieved by enriching the glass with tiny gold and silver nanoparticles. But the exact composition could not be determined, despite all intensive investigations of the material. All the more reason to appreciate and preserve these mysterious glasses. Number 10. A Vision of India. The Statues and Monuments of Warangal. For thousands of years, distant India has captivated people with its exciting history and varied culture, which has given rise to numerous impressive monuments. Among them is the mysterious Gopakal Hill, which is one of the largest and most important rock-cut Jain monuments in the country. Popularly known as X-Bazar Ki Babadi, the place is associated with several Hindu deities. According to legends, the gods would have intervened in the creation of the statues up to 18 meters high that surround Gopakal Hill, some of which date back to the 6th century, a time when people's technical possibilities were limited. So how could such impressive mounds and statues be carved into the rock? With divine help, so far, at least, there is no scientific explanation. A total of 10 mysterious objects took us around the world in this video. Which story did you like the most, and do you know of any object or technology that remains unexplained today? Leave us your opinions in the comments box. Until next time.